Hi, I'm Lauren. I'm Lauren. I've been on YouTube pretty much my entire life. Not posting, but like creeping. I basically grew up in the era of like Community Channel, Kev Jumba, who knew that, Asians could be funny in 2006. Probably in other parts of the world, but not in like suburban Atlanta, because I was like one of the few Asians I knew. Anyways, why am I here now? Good question. I am here just to share my thoughts and my art because it feels like an accessible place for me in that I can just sit here with a camera at times specified by me and just share my thoughts and my artwork and, you know, see who else is interested in what I'm putting down. And, if that's not many people, that's okay. I'm just kind of doing this for fun. I'm already pretty surprised by the number of people who have chosen to join me. I can't believe that in my past, like, kind of birthday video, I already got like 40 new people interested in what I have to say and what I have to share, which is quite amazing to me. And just like in general, I feel like now I have enough subscribers where it's not just like, oh, my mom. Not that I don't know if my mom watches all my videos, but she has watched one in front of me, and then I asked her to stop because I hate the sound of my voice. And then my brother likes to torture me with them too. But the like 200 subs is already way more than like the number of people I would even know to invite to my wedding. Fundamentally, my channel is still like microscopic, but hey, thanks for watching. One of the things I really love about YouTube is just the ability of like everyday people to just share parts of their life, just like little things that aren't fantastical, aren't anything incredible, but you still find it beautiful, or just funny, or just like share parts of your life that aren't super commercialized. And as like a creative person, it draws me in that I can kind of share what the small things in my life that I find beautiful and fun and interesting and just thought provoking and I think are wonderful. I know that even though I go through all this processing and try and convey the best in whatever form I might, it might not be interesting to everyone. I'm not for everyone. And that's actually the name of a podcast I listen to a lot. Part of creating, you do want people to see your stuff. Like, you don't, creating into a void is pretty dejecting. Um, but at the same time, I know that like the amount of effort I put in doesn't necessarily correlate to the right, maybe the metrics I'm focusing on or like people are focusing on for like a measure of success. So I feel like my videos are just a fun way to communicate my thoughts and just kind of put it out there and see what happens. And maybe some part of it someone will find comforting or relatable as I just go through my very normal life. But anyways, normal life and the beauty in small things is like the inspiration for my latest painting. It's a very basic painting of a scene that I find very comforting but also intriguing and beautiful in its own right, even though it's a very banal scene. There's nothing that's like typically eye-catching of the scene, but I just find beauty in light, like literal light, like the sun and light bulbs and lamps. I think it can really change the mood and excuse me. Oh my gosh. Just kidding. I burp all the time. Um, one of my favorite things in life is just being cozy, being comfortable and cozy. And I did this image of a bedroom where I find comfort and coziness and it feels like home. And what struck me about this image is the way the light comes in through the different doorways, kind of inviting you in, um, creating like warm glows and shadows and creating curiosity almost for what lies beyond them. And it's just like something kind of like comforting and also mysterious about that. I recently happened upon an artist, Enrique. Shoot, I should have written his name down. Enrique. I'm practicing my Spanish. It's really horrible, but Enrique Rottenberg. I don't know what that is. Enrique Rottenberg. He, I believe, is Argentinian. An Argentinian photographer. If you have a problem with boobies, like, be careful when you Google him. But he did this series called Sleeping With, and it's just like pictures of bedrooms in Cuba. He went to, I think most of these are in Havana, I want to say, but he goes into people's houses and takes pictures of their bedroom, which is like an incredibly intimate place for a lot of people. They just speak to me for some reason. Something about this like place where people go to like be safe and rest. I feel like sometimes you see some sort of still life in you see some sort of still life and you're like, ah, fruit. Like I see that every day, you know. It's like an orange. You're like, okay, cool. Someone drew a picture of an orange in their house. Like, yeah, cool. Or like mountains or something, and they're like the mountains near you. You're like, oh, whatever. Like I see them all the time. Just like everyday things. If you see it in a museum from your own life, it can be relatable, but at the same time, you're like, why is this in the museum? But when you go to a different country and you go to that museum and you see the still lifes or everyday pictures of, you know, what it was like in that time, it's like so much more enriching for you because it's not something you see every day. And the same thing can be said just about different people's homes. It's like just this intimate peek into like how other people live their lives, and I think it's like fascinating to see. I love seeing it. But I saw this and I was like, this looks so much like the current piece I'm working on, so maybe that's also why I was drawn in a little. I want this piece to be kind of like celebrating the everyday and like just little scenes, little vignettes that you can take a look at and be like, this gives me this feeling of warmth. I think that's the biggest thing that Sleeping With gave me, was this feeling of intimacy and warmth in somebody else's life. And it just like, I was able to connect through the feeling of like warmth and safety, though the actual contents of the image were like pretty different from the environment I grew up in, or like the style of my own house. But it's like cool. It's cool to see how other people live. And I think that's the guiding factor, the overarching theme of this. Anyways, I hope that entire monologue made sense and was maybe interesting to somebody. I'm just so curious what people think when they watch me through their little screens or big screens. I don't really know. Kind of weird to think I'm just like putting an entity out there and people are free to use it however they wish. But you know, so is life in the internet, and I'm a willing participant.
Voila, a painting.
But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this painting. Um, I'm gonna put it up now. This was a prop. I put it to dry. Ta-da! That way. Here she is. I know I made the grays a little bit cooler than I was intending to, but I think after adding in the yellow, it really brightened up or like warmed up whole the whole scene. So yeah, like daylight, nighttime, cozy, promise, excitement. I love mornings and I love a new day. So the promise of a new day. I don't know. This is just my bedroom. It's okay. It doesn't have to be deep if you don't want it to be, but I like it. It makes me feel warm and cozy. Okay, that's it. Bye. I am basically here just to basically here to